obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
You're watching the 2023 Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We have reached semifinal Thursday, and we've got an exciting Class 5A quarterfinal matchup coming your way as the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars go head-to-head with the Johnston Dragons. And good morning, basketball fans. Delighted to have you with us here on Semifinal Thursday. That is Laura Leonard. I am Hunter Phillips. And Laura, no better way to kick off Semifinal Thursday than with a big-time showdown between Johnston and Ankeny Centennial.
Yeah, they've met a couple of times already this season, and so third time, it's rubber meets the road here. Who's going to be able to advance to the championship game? And this is going to be a good one. You've got a high-powered offense with a really good defense.
So let's take a look at the road to the championship for both of these squads. Again, they know one another all too well. Ankeny Centennial, big-time win to start their trip here to state, defeating Waterloo West 60-51. Did very well at the free throw line, and McKenna Clark splashing down 20 points and an efficient 12 of 14 from the free throw line. But then there's the Johnston Dragons at 23-1. They got past Southeast Polk in the quarterfinals in a balanced scoring effort and shot 65% from the floor as a team. Eiley Tankey with a double-double, and Jenica Lewis just stuffing the stat sheet for the Dragons in the quarterfinals. The teams are warming up. They're packing Wells Fargo Arena here on this Thursday morning. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into this morning's game with the Kruger Seeds for Success on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Inching closer and closer to tip-off on this Thursday morning. Class 5A semifinal action coming your way. Ankeny Centennial taking on Johnston. Hunter Phillips and Laura Leonard. Delighted to have you with us here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Now let's dive deeper into the game here and look at our Kruger seeds for success, Laura.
Well, for Ankeny Centennial, they want to make the Dragons uncomfortable. They have been known for playing really solid, in-your-face kind of defense. They take pride in that defense. They're going to try to make Johnston uncomfortable in that offensive set, and they need to have efficient offense. They need to make sure they're swinging the ball, get the good looks high-low. And then for Johnston, they need to share the basketball. Can't be one-on-one, and they do a good job of that, of sharing the basketball, working the ball around, and then they're going to want to disrupt the offensive flow of the Jaguars. Now, they don't want to be too aggressive and put them on the free throw line, as Centennial is number 1 in 5A of free throw makes. And so when they get to the line, and we saw that helped them get to this point in the semifinals in that quarterfinal game, getting to the free throw line.
This morning's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get you ready for tip-off, including meeting the teams and the starting lineups for this Class 5A semifinal here at Wells Fargo Arena on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
We've got a full house here at Wells Fargo Arena in Iowa's capital city for this highly anticipated Class 5A semifinal matchup featuring the Johnston Dragons and the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars. And you wouldn't expect anything different. Two teams that came into the season with lofty expectations. Certainly the Johnston Dragons, and they had the one blemish against Dowling Catholic. They'll be playing later on here this morning. But for Ankeny Centennial, Laura, a team that defeated the 3 seed, Waterloo West, another program that had high expectations. A lot of familiarity on both sides, so it's all setting up for a fantastic matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be a good matchup, and you can never count out a Scott DeYoung coach team. They are always steady when they get to Wells Fargo. He's got the state championships to prove it. They're looking to try to prove it one more time.
He's won a state best 7 in his tenure. Now we'll turn things to Tim Fitzpatrick, our public address announcer.
Good morning, basketball fans, and welcome to today's 2023 Girls State Basketball 5A semifinal matchup featuring the visiting team, the Centennial Jaguars, and the home team, the Johnston Dragons.
Pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship, both on the court and in the stands. Remember what a great privilege it is to be your team. Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 5A semifinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters for the Centennial Jaguars. Number 1, Ava Martin. Number 14, Findy Blackmore. Number 3, Tilly Smith. Number 30, Rylan Boding. 32, Maisie Smith. And 35, Kylan Smith. Your assistant coaches, David Runchie, Andy Fain, Rachel Schmidt, and Dennis Albertson. And now let's meet the non-starters for the Johnston Dragons. Number 2, Isabella Balsley. Number 4, Sydney Pullman. Number 12, Cameron Gillick. Number 14, Cortland Jackson. Number 20, Sydney Hodges. Number 23, Julia Kinnitz. Number 32, Avery Ryan. Number 34, Ava Helming. Number 40, JC Blanchard. Number 42, Ruby Pullman. And 44, Madison Hauser. Your assistant coaches, Mark Hine, Brad Buchan, Jenny Cook, Christine Wolford, and Kinsey Gillick. And now, here are your starters for this 5A semifinal. From Centennial at guard, a sophomore, number 4, Jaden Perrett. For Johnston at guard, a freshman, number 10, Jenica Lewis. For the Jaguars at guard, a sophomore, number 5, Maya Crawford. For the Dragons at guard, a junior, number 22, Aaliyah Riley. For Centennial guard, a senior, number 10, Avery Porter. For Johnston at guard, a senior, number 24, Molly Nelp. At guard for the Jaguars, a senior, number 11, McKenna Clark. At guard for the Dragons, a junior, number 30, Eiley Tanky. And at forward for Centennial, a senior, number 24, Kennedy White. For Johnston at forward, a senior number 33, Emma Hampton. Head coach for Centennial, Scott DeYoung. And for Johnston, Chad Gillick. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce your officials. As assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for this 5A semifinal, Travis Carroll, Jason Alons, and Chad Shellmeyer. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner set VFW 8142 color guard has been presenting the colors at the girls basketball tournament for nearly 60 years. The color guard has members from the Marines, Army, Navy, and Air Force, serving in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Let's give them a nice round of applause. And now we ask that you please join us, directing your attention to the flags at center court as we honor America and those around the world who protect our freedom with the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Sage Minahan from West Monona High School. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattled, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing until the flag has left the court. Thank you, color guard, and thank you, Sage Minahan. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
So all of the buildup leads to this matchup here in the semifinals. The starting lineup for Ankeny Centennial, the 6 seed, Jaden Pratt, Maya Crawford, talented sophomores. But then you also have the great leaders of Avery Porter, McKenna Clark, and Kennedy White, the seniors. Then on the other side for the Johnston Dragons, freshman point guard Jenica Lewis has been wowing here at state. Aaliyah Riley, really that calm, collective guard there with a lot of experience. Molly Nilk, Eiley Tankey, and Emma Hampton. To round out the lineup for the Johnston Dragons, they'll be in their all-white uniforms, while Ankeny Centennial will be in their all-black uniforms. Laura, this place is buzzing with energy. These two teams know one another very well. Buckle up for a fun one.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be a fun one, and it could go down to the wire. And you talked about the guard play for Johnston. You have two really good guards out front. that can dictate the pace and the flow of offense for Johnston.
Now, Johnston won both meetings against Ankeny Centennial this year, but both were decided by 9 points or less. And I expect a similar game here today as the Jaguars try to work it in the post. It will stay with Ankeny Centennial.
Looked like Johnston was kind of packing it in a little bit and going to try to pick up the dribble drive, make Centennial shoot it from the outside.
Catching the inbounds is Pratt. Off the screen, Avery Porter gives it up to Crawford with less than 10 on the shot clock. And she walked. Johnston basketball.
It's a really good defensive possession for the Dragons. They really shut down the dribble drive, and so you can see early on, Centennial, not a team that shoots it a lot from the perimeter. They're going to make them prove it from out there.
Johnston, the defending Class 5A champions, won 2 out of the last 3 titles, a fixture here at Wells Fargo Arena. Tanky from the top of the key with a ball fake. Now Hampton had a very strong game against Southeast Polk, gives it up, Nelk for 3, and hits it.
Patient, worked the ball around, tried to get it inside, then got it to Nelk, and look how quickly Centennial comes back, pushed the ball down the floor.
Fast-paced start to this one. And there's Maya Crawford, such a defensive specialist, swiping the steal.
Just the quick little jab at the dribble, knocks it away, and active hands. And you see that from Centennial. They have the good hands. They're always moving their feet. They're in good defensive position.
Short on the 3 was McKenna Clark at 20 points in that win against Waterloo West, and she got the 3 ball working, but not that time. Aaliyah Riley using a high ball screen in the lane, off the glass. That doesn't go. Rebound by McKenna Clark.
Challenged the defense that time, and they were up for it. Centennial is long, and when you get in the middle, there's a lot of arms that you have to get through when you're trying to see the rim.
That length has been the catalyst for their defense, and that is where head coach Scott DeYoung has thrived. There's Crawford lofting a 3. That won't fall. Riley hugs in the rebound. We've played just over 2 minutes here in this first quarter, just getting underway. Emma Hampton, some contact there. Ball out of bounds and will remain with Johnston.
Went right at Kennedy White, seeing if they could draw an early foul on her, take her out of the middle.
Well, and Hampton got off to such a great start in that win against Southeast Polk. 10 of her 15 points came in the first half. There she is. Good look there on the hook shot. One and done possession for the Dragons that time.
White altered that shot just a little bit. Hampton faded away when she went to take that shot.
I have a feeling rebounding also a key today, Laura. Both teams in the top 5 in Class 5A and total rebounding. There as we have a tie-up and possession arrow Johnston.
Yeah, rebounding is always a big key, and Centennial had 14 offensive rebounds in their quarterfinal game, and that really helped them in that victory.
Getting those second chance opportunities, especially facing the likes of Sahara Williams, one of the top players in the state, and here's another steal by the Jaguars. Porter racing in. Got knocked out of her hands, and it will go to Johnston.
Now, Porter thought she saw the opening, and she did have the numbers. She was ahead of the pack, but tried to split 2 defenders. Good defense by knocking it off of her leg out of bounds.
Johnston, the top scoring team in Class 5A at 66.8 points per game. Well-balanced squad. And Riley was fouled as she was working around the right side of the lane.
Riley's a good handler of the basketball, can weave her way through multiple defenders. Showed what she could do there on that possession.
Quick foul on the inbounds. Jaden Pratt was guarding Eiley Tanky.
Just opposite side of the lane, they brought Tanky down, and looked like Pratt had a hand on her as she was making her cut.
The officials are talking about the shot clock. They put a fresh 35 on it. There you look at Scott DeYoung. He's taken over for this Ankeny Centennial program since the very beginning. Of course, was at Ankeny before the two schools split. Boy, each and every year just so solid and know how to play strong style of basketball this time of year. The shot clock remains at 35. Ankeny catches the inbounds, and here is Riley guarded by the watchful eye of Avery Porter. Riley puts up a three. Off the mark. Scramble for the loose ball. They go to the Jaguars.
I think that's going to be a good matchup. Riley and Porter. Porter's got those good quick feet, good soccer player, and as everybody knows, those soccer players know how to maneuver and get into position, so that's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Ankeny Centennial, a very good soccer program and also volleyball as well. Number of multi-sport athletes on the floor for both squads. Crawford thought about letting that three fly. She attempted one earlier. Kennedy White, double team, travel.
Just couldn't get her footing, and you could see anytime it's going inside, double and triple team that time. Got the turnover on White.
Been a few minutes since both of these teams last made a field goal. 7:02 mark for Johnston. That was a made three by Molly Milk. At the 6:54 mark for Ankeny Centennial from Avery Porter. They figured both teams were going to have to earn it and trying to get points on the board. Jenica Lewis making a nice initial move. Bounces it back to Milk. Oh, and the Jaguars are so tough there in the paint. Here's Lewis. Her three gets blocked by Crawford, who had 7 in the win against Waterloo West. Shot clock violation. Boy, what a stand there from Ankeny Centennial.
Boy, several opportunities the Dragons had to score, and you could just kept looking at the clock, and it was ticking down, and that is a solid defensive stand.
Oh, and you could tell that the jungle, the student section for the Jaguars was loving it as they get it in to White, who gets it off the glass and in Centennial with their first lead of the morning.
Yeah, and look how quickly they get the ball down the floor. Just a little late on the backside help down there allowed White to get to the hoop.
Elk gives it up to Hampton, swings it to Tanky for three and hits it.
Able to pop her out, get her free, you give her that kind of room. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She floated out there, got the feet set, catch and release.
Tanky with a double-double in the quarterfinal round victory against Southeast Polk, 16 points and 10 rebounds. A versatile scorer showing it right there as the Dragons are back up by 2. Crawford puts one up. On target, too strong. Riley coming away with another rebound.
I think they're going to be content to give up that three-pointer outside to Clark.
Tanky off the dribble, just getting past the Jaguars that time. Back-to-back buckets there for the talented junior.
Starting to heat up a little bit. And you can see the defense of Lewis challenging, getting out in the passing lane. You have to start thinking about maybe cutting back door if they're going to play that much overplay.
Isabella Balsley, Tilly Smith in the game for the first time. Substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Those are two really good guards to bring off the bench for both teams. Very deep as Pratt keeps it alive. And now Porter will reset the offense with Balsley guarding her. Porter off the glass and in.
I wasn't sure if they were aware that the shot clock didn't reset because it didn't hit any iron, but it didn't take Porter too long to recognize and get to the rim.
Deep three by Lewis. Doesn't go. Rebound and put back left a little short by Tanky. And now the Jaguars with it with just about 90 seconds to play in what's been an exhilarating start in this first quarter.
And it's been difficult to score as we see the 8-6 score. We kind of knew that coming in.
Jaden Pratt's three rattles in and out. Centennial 0 for 4 from beyond the arc to start. How about Riley blazing down the lane? First shot doesn't go. Second chance doesn't fall in either. But Johnston will remain with the basketball.
Riley hasn't backed down at all. When she gets the ball, she's going. Centennial needs to find her, pick her up at about half court and slow her down.
Second leading scorer for the Dragons at 13 points per game. 3.5 assists per game. Balsley fouled as she was receiving the inbounds. That'll send the junior guard to the line where she had a really solid performance against Southeast Bogue. And you mentioned soccer players. Balsley will be playing at Drake University, so staying right here in Des Moines, playing for Lindsey Horner's team. You can see where she gets that speed from in that short space as she hits both. (10-6) Johnston. Just over a minute remaining here in this first quarter.
Centennial has brought in a couple of their three-point shooters to see if they can shoot Johnston out of that zone, but they didn't need it there.
Boy, a nice spin move by Pratt to get away from her defender, and then gets it off the glass and in. Riley surveying her options. Backtracks the dribble. Jenica Lewis receiving a screen, floats it up and in, and count the bucket.
Tried to get over and draw the charge as Lewis was floating in there. She was able to connect and is going to step to the line.
Boy, Lewis, just such a fantastic talent. First points on the day, and just a freshman, Laura, already gaining the attention of several Division I schools.
Yeah, she does has a knack for understanding when she made that drive. Yeah, she's got all the tools, and one of the things that kind of goes unnoticed is you float in there and you are able to avoid the contact, so you don't pick up those charges.
5-point lead for Johnston. Here is Ankeny Centennial can hold for the final shot. Emily Blackmore. That's in the hands of McKenna Clark. Looking back at Coach DeYoung. Riley not giving her much room. White hands it off to Crawford. Picks up the dribble, turns around. Shot doesn't reach the iron. Hampton doesn't put up a shot in time, and that will take us to our second quarter here at the Well. Exciting start to this one. It's Johnston up by 5 after 8 minutes of play on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Hunter Phillips and Laura Leonard here with you as we open up semifinal Thursday, and Johnston opens up the second quarter with a near takeaway up by 5. Laura, what did you see there in that opening quarter?
Well, the defense for Johnston is really, I think, baffled Centennial a little bit. They haven't been able to get into a good set, and they're going to make them prove it from the outside. That's why they brought in some of their three-point shooters at the end of the first quarter. Didn't get many opportunities.
3 is off target. White brings down the rebound. Count the bucket there with the putback.
we talked about that early, going to the offensive glass, and that was something that Centennial did very well in their quarterfinal game, and there they cash in on it. That's a big bucket that they were looking for and they needed to give them a little momentum.
White scored in double figures in both meetings against Johnston this season as she completes the three-point play, and it's now a 2-point lead for the 2-seed Johnston Dragons. Now a tough screen up top. Trying to work around it was Porter, who will be whistled for the foul.
Yeah, she saw it coming, and she just couldn't skinny up enough to get around it, and you could see hooked up top on Hampton and got called for the foul.
Tanky. There's an illegal screen set up. Hampton did it well the first time, but not that time.
Just shuffled the feet enough. It was a subtle shuffle, but the official saw it.
Hampton will be playing soccer collegiately at the University of Iowa. Again, one of a number of athletes on the floor that will be taking their talents to the collegiate level to play a multitude of sports. Crawford goes to fellow sophomore Jaden Pratt. Porter couldn't quite finish, even though she was able to sneak past the double team there with the Dragons. Johnston up by 2 and with the ball. Nelk got the day started with the 3. Floater left a little short, and Pratt chases down the rebound and got bumped from behind.
Maybe a little frustration. Nelk missing that last shot, trying to come in from behind and get that quick steal. Just a little too aggressive.
Third rebound already for Jaden Pratt, who averages 7.8 rebounds per game, and in one of the meetings against Johnston in their home contest had 14 rebounds in that game. Porter pulling up. Doesn't go. And Hampton squeezes in the rebound. She'll give it up to Jenica Lewis. 3 points. Came on an and one. And now Riley will direct traffic. Riley gets a screen from Hampton, but then loses the ball, and the Jaguars, their defense again has just been able to really limit the Dragons where they can't really work off screens as well as they want to.
Yeah, and White just stayed right in there, stayed vertical, bodied up against Riley, and Riley couldn't maintain the dribble. Look at that double, triple team on White down low.
And a point of emphasis here to start this one. Again, knowing that White has hurt them in the last 2 meetings during the regular season. Hampton thought about the mid-range shot there along the baseline, gives it up to Nilk. Made a 3 earlier, and there's Pratt once again with another rebound.
She just gets such great position and anticipates when the shot goes up.
That foul will go against Hampton. That'll be her second personal foul. 4th team foul on the Dragons. Centennial has 5 here in the half, and here is Jaden Pratt. Sophomore that averages just a shade under 10 points per game and is a 71% free throw shooter. Knocks down the first. Saw that shot there for head coach Chad Gillick on the other side for Johnston. What a program he has built there with the Dragons in his 11th season. Over 200 wins, and time and time again you look at the players that they have churned out. Well, the last time Ankeny Centennial was able to pick up a win against Johnston, that was when Maya McDermott was a junior. Of course, she's doing great things at Northern Iowa. And here's another real good guard that's been solid since day one, Aaliyah Riley.
And Coach Gillick, they graduated 3 seniors a year ago from that state championship team, and they're right back here. So they've got that program rolling, and he kind of felt like after workouts, summer workouts, fall workouts, he kind of felt like, you know what, we have a shot at getting back there and defending the title.
Having a lot of experience, including the likes of Eiley Tanky. And of course, when you bring in a talented guard like Jenica Lewis, that certainly is going to help. As McKenna Clark's first free throw is up and in. 12 of 14 at the free throw line was Clark in that win against Waterloo West. A game in which they caused Sahara Williams to foul out and really limited Hallie Polk, two of the top scorers in the state.
And, I think that's a big part of their game of getting to the free throw line. I mentioned early on the beginning of this ball game, they're number 1 in 5A as far as makes at the free throw line, but they're number 2 in getting there. They get there about 16 times a game, and that's a big part of their scoring.
Tied up at 15. Centennial trying to get back in front. There was a nice block there. Down low by Blanchard. Ahead, the layup is up and in for Lewis.
First look up to see if you have anybody out ahead of the pack, and they did. Nice lead pass for the layup.
Centennial has outscored Johnston 7-4 here in this second quarter after Johnston led by 5 after the opening 8 minutes. Crawford from the top of the key. Loose with the dribble, but picks it up.
You can see him just falling off of Crawford, wanting her to shoot it from the perimeter.
Swiping it is Tanky. It's a 2-on-2, but she decides to go right at the teeth of the Jaguar defense. Didn't get the first shot. Held ball will stay with Johnston.
Now, Johnston has had several really good baseline inbound plays that they've scored easily. So other side of the board this time, see what they do.
Lewis goes right back into Blanchard. Open for 3 is Nelk. Off the left side of the cylinder and out.
Blanchard felt that double team coming, kicks it out to Nelk, who's just a little off the mark, but was not that quick hitter baseline inbound play, but a nice set off of that inbound.
Johnston shooting 28.5% from the field here to start, while Ankeny Centennial is at 31.5%. Here's a 3. That's buried by Finley Blackmore.
68% of her shots come from beyond the arc. Might be one of their best three-point shooters on the team.
Ankeny Centennial back in front by 1. And a strong second quarter for the Jaguars, the 6 seed. Lewis, step back 3, no. And how about Tanky ripping down the board here with 2 Jaguars around her. Lewis off the feed, draws a foul.
Boy, it's been quite a battle on the boards at both ends. These 2 teams are going after it on the glass. Tanky is able to rip that one away and find an open teammate in Lewis.
Laura, half of Johnston's rebounds have come on the offensive glass. So 9 of their 18 have come via that right there, but hold on a second.
I think we've got some blood maybe on the floor. I'm not sure. I don't see any of the players. Oh, yeah. You've got Tanky over with the trainer, getting some attention over there, and I think we're going to have some cleanup on in the lane.
So a little housekeeping will have to be done there. So Tanky getting cleaned off there along the sideline. So that gives us a little bit of a pause here in the action. And so while we do have a break, once again, fans, Central College has you covered with career-building programs and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. So the officials came over to explain what the stoppage was.
So Tanky is bleeding. They either have to take her out or call the timeout to save her and preserve her and get her back in, or sub, and they've chosen to sub now and let her get patched up.
When it comes in an ideal time because Johnston will be at the free throw line. But we talked about how rebounding was going to be a big edge here today. Johnston with an +8 margin on the glass to start. Again, half of their rebounds, including that last one, coming on the glass, and it allowed Jenica Lewis to be able to draw a foul. That was the 6th team foul on Centennial here in the half.
Kylie Tankey is changing out uniforms, so they couldn't get the blood off the uniform, and so she is changing out her shorts.
Always got to have a spare,
Always
just in
have
case.
a spare, unless you're the one player on the bench that are like, hey, take mine, I'm not getting in the game.
That's right. That's where the saying team player really comes into play.
Whoever, if they gave up their shorts, they get the award for the biggest assist of the game.
That's right. Lewis hitting both free throws to put Johnston back in front in what's been a back and forth second quarter. Porter, Crawford, slid her pivot foot there. She was going to make her move. Just a little indecisive there on that play.
You know, if they're going to play off of her, and that's not her game at this point in time in her career to be that three-point shooter. She's one that wants to put the ball on the floor and take it inside. If they're going to give that, you've got to be decisive, ready to receive and ready to shoot it.
0 for 2 from beyond the arc is Crawford, so maybe just thinking about it a little too long, but don't have the freedom to have that much time, but not thinking about that 3 attempt, and knocking it down is J.C. Blanchard.
Big 3 for Blanchard, and that's a player that Coach Gillick, they had to talk her into coming back out for the team and providing a big shot there in this semifinal game.
Senior coming off the bench. 14th made 3 of the season. A big triple right there as Crawford was trying to hook up with White, who had gained separation, but the pass just a little too far out of her outreaching hand. So Pratt will come back into the game for Ankeny Centennial. Finley Blackmore, who knocked down a 3, will check out. Johnston up by 4 with a minute and a half remaining here in the first half.
Big last minute and a half, because this is a point where Johnston could really get some separation from the Jaguars.
Riley garners a double, and now about Pratt coming in from behind, just using that length to just reach out and take the ball away. They got the stop. Now Centennial looking to get a bucket here. Porter, turnaround, doesn't fall in, and Lewis will bring it up ahead for the Dragons, but not so fast. Porter just knocked it out of her grip. Crawford, count it.
Boy, you have to credit Porter for starting all of that. She came from behind, just a swipe at the ball, got a piece of it, knocked it to a teammate, able to start the break, and Crawford taking it in strong and challenging Lewis.
An emphatic few points off of a turnover there for Ankeny Centennial. Crawford can't complete the three-point play. Johnston trying to put a solid possession here. Close out the half. Blanchard just made it 3 moments ago. Tankey, that one's left a little shy. A mad scramble for the ball. Last off of Ankeny Centennial. Boy, you just love the hustle from both ends. Now the officials are going to change their mind.
You know, Avery Porter knew it. She knew she had her hands back, and she was kind of surprised at the initial call. Good job by our officiating crew to get that call correct.
Our officials have been absolutely tremendous all tournament long. Coach DeYoung will call a timeout to draw something up here. 30-second timeout. With Centennial down by 2, 22-20, and just what I think we kind of expected for, and really how the first 2 matchups played out between these 2 teams. Johnston would gain a little bit of separation, but Ankeny Centennial with that stingy defense, making those heads-up plays, that's what's helped them get back into ball games, and certainly we've seen that here in this first half.
You know, they stepped up. When minute 30 to go, and Johnston had the ball, kind of felt like that would be a turning point if they were able to score, get a little bit more of a lead, put Centennial into a hole where they felt like they needed to score before halftime, maybe rush some things. But the Centennial defense stepped up, able to get a steal, and now they're right back in with 2 points.
And they can hold for the final shot. See a trap being put on by the Dragons. Clark trying to get out of it, just gets it across the half-court line. Crawford will back it up, and now will reset.
Boy, everybody holding their breath on that one. I thought Scott DeYoung might call a quick timeout to save that possession.
Crawford off the handoff, bodying up with Lewis, got around her, and lays that one up and in. So how fitting that when we go to halftime in this Class 5A semifinal, we're knotted up 22 apiece between Johnston and Ankeny Centennial. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show for you here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
We have reached halftime here in this Class 5A semifinal, and we're knotted up after 16 minutes of basketball, 22 apiece between Ankeny Centennial and Johnston. Hunter Phillips and Laura Leonard back here with you. And so, Laura, both teams really traded the quarters there. Johnston led out after the first quarter 13-8, but then Centennial, especially their execution on the defensive end of the final minute, was able to tie this one up. And, boy, it's going to set up for a fun second half.
It's going to be a really fun second half, and you know that both of these coaches, they're veterans. They know what to do. They've seen that first half play out. Going to make a few adjustments. I think Centennial is going to have to figure out, they're going to have to knock down some shots from the perimeter, and I think Johnston may have to push the tempo a little bit more.
So now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, Aaron Kirtley of the IGHSAU had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about the Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes from here across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Aaron Kirtley with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you're enjoying all the competitive play that you're seeing here today. We're so thankful for those who support us and help us put on such great events, none of which are more important than our longtime partner, Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Here with me today is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Thanks.
So we want to tell the viewers about the Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in supporting the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union in all of our tournament games?
The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for 18 years. We're thrilled to once again be a part of the state girls basketball tournament. But to us, it's so much more than just a basketball tournament. The athletes competing here today are among the nation's best and brightest student athletes who have a great work ethic and understand what it means to work as a team. We share the same values. Through hard work, our farmers are among the nation's best, not only in corn, hog, egg, and ethanol production, but also lead the nation in conservation. That's a lot to celebrate. And our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to honor both.
So your support for youth and education goes beyond the IGHSAU. What other support does Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Farm Bureau celebrates Iowa's youth in many different ways. Number one, Iowa Farm Bureau, we give our students across the state nearly $500,000 in scholarships every single year. And through our teacher supplement program, we've given teachers over $450,000 in supplies and money so that they can properly have their classrooms put together for their students. In conjunction with the Girls Union and the Boys Athletic Association, we're proud to sponsor the concussion insurance. You know, there's only 7 states that even offer that. And for the 4th year running, we provide that for those student athletes at no cost to their families so that they continue to compete at a high level. And most recently, we're really excited to announce that we've given the FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can support their local chapters and ag education across this entire state so that they know what the future of agriculture means to everyday Iowans.
The student athletes participating this year are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs from this tournament. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of our favorite programs is actually the Signature Ball program. And it's a great opportunity that every student competing here today gets to have one of those signature balls so that they can have their teammates, their coaches, and mentors sign this ball so that they can carry this memory forward for them long into the future.
Well, thanks again to our proud title sponsor, Farm Bureau, and for Brent for being with us today.
Yep.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
All right, Frank, the store is yours. See you Monday.
What do you think he does in there? Think it's risky? I forgot my phone. And now you know what happens on Sundays.
All tied at 22 in this Class 5A semifinal featuring Ankeny, Centennial, and Johnston. Getting closer to the second half, getting underway. Let's take a look at our first half stats. And really, Laura, when you look at it, pretty even in terms of shooting percentage, although Ankeny Centennial hit 40% of their shots. Rebounding, that's really the big area that Johnston was able to succeed in. But otherwise, what really stood out to you looking at that halftime box score?
You know, the thing is a pretty clean game. 7 turnovers for each of these two teams, and the second chance opportunities, the points aren't huge, even though Johnston has gotten 9 offensive rebounds. They have not been able to cash in on those second chance opportunities. But I think the one thing that jumps out for me is Centennial, 1 of 6 from three-point line. They're going to have to step up, and they're going to, because I think Johnston's going to make them shoot it from the outside.
Well, and you look at the individual scoring, Jenica Lewis leading the way with 7 points for Johnston, and a lot more balance on the other side for Ankeny Centennial. Kennedy White with 5 points to lead all scorers for the Jaguars. But again, we're tied at 22 here at the Well. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have the second half for you here from Des Moines on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Fans official state tournament merchandise is now available online, so now it's time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Boy, a lot of energy buzzing here inside Wells Fargo Arena as we begin semifinal action here on this Thursday, already day 4 here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Time flies when you're having a lot of fun, Laura Leonard, and I tell you what, going into this second half, it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that both teams will make.
Yeah, I know, as we had mentioned, these coaches or veteran coaches have been to the state tournament multiple times, and they know that it's actually, it is a 2-quarter ball game now as we come into the second half tied up, and so the other part of it is you can put that game plan out there. However your players execute it is going to be the key, and whoever executes best is going to win this ball game, and it is going to come down to defense.
Oh, and we sure saw the defense on full display there in the opening half. Combined 6 steals between the teams. Ankeny Centennial will start this second half with the basketball, and like you mentioned, 2 veteran coaches, Chad Gillick for Johnston, Scott DeYoung for Ankeny Centennial. The chess match. See who comes out on top to move on to the championship game, where they'll meet either Dowling Catholic or the top seed Pleasant Valley. Jaden Pratt swings it to Crawford. Still a little indecisive there from long range. Here's Clark taking it in, and there's Lewis with the block. And she had 7 blocks in that win against Southeast Polk. Nelk for 3. She got the morning started with a triple, left a little short. Back come the Jaguars. Jaden Pratt with 4 points, 3 rebounds there in the opening half. We'll give it up to Crawford. Crawford methodically waiting. Here's Pratt for 3. Boy, just about fell in. Ankeny Centennial 1 for 7 from beyond the arc, but they have had some good looks.
They have had good looks, just rattled around, but they're going to have to take a few more of them because that's what it looks like. The Dragons are going to just kind of fade off a little bit, give them the room to shoot it from out there.
Eiley Tanky muscling her way down the lane, and that shot doesn't fall. And another rebound for Jaden Pratt. And we knew the buckets were going to be hard to come by, and we've seen it already here to begin the second half. White losing her footing.
Trying to muscle it between a double team, and it was a good double team because she really had to fight hard, couldn't get a good look.
She has had to work in those doubles all morning long. Pulling up, Hampton waves that one shy. Crawford pushes the tempo ahead. Pratt will keep it outside with McKenna Clark, the senior. Pratt from the free throw line hits it.
Not quite as far out, but that mid-range game, and Pratt took a look at it. Defense didn't come out. She knocked it down.
And Pratt was quick to race on the other end with Riley. As you see Riley drawing the foul, and you know number 22 and number 4 are not afraid of contact.
No, you could see it, and Riley is so good at pushing tempo and pushing it down the floor.
First trip to the line for Riley this morning, and she knocks down the first. 63% free throw shooter is Riley, and as a team, Johnston at 73%. Excellent mark there when they go to the charity stripe. And the second one is up and in for Riley, who has 5 points.
Perfect on the day today.
Riley is one of 3 Dragons to have 5 or more points. The other 2 being Eiley Tankey and Lewis. Free ball doesn't go for the Jaguars. Nice dish ahead to Hampton. The catch, the finish doesn't get there. Tie up. We'll stay with Johnston, but what a beautiful feed that was from Nelk. But just a lid on the basket here on some of these layup attempts for the Dragons.
Well, they know what's at stake. Maybe just a little tight here to start this third quarter.
Oh, and they will get Johnston for a foul. That was Jenica Lewis trying to mix things up there as the Jaguars were a little loose with it.
Well, that just shows you that you have to, when you get the ball in your hands, you have to take care of it because somebody's going to come and try to swipe it and take it away from you.
I was going to say, Laura, that has to be in the heads of all of these players that, boy, if I just mishap for 1 second, you never know who's going to be right around the corner as Kennedy White knocks down the mid-range shot for her 7th point. But then, like we've seen, no matter if it's Riley or this time Lewis, they're just quick to attack and transition.
They've gotten that mid-range game going, so they've found a little bit of that gap in the defense of the Dragons.
Jenica Lewis did pick up her 2nd personal foul moments earlier. See her and Crawford. Those 2 will be battling with one another for quite some time. One a freshman, one a sophomore. Lewis hits both, and we're knotted up at 26.
You know, the one thing about that foul, she made it a good one. She wasn't going to give up the and one, and so when you do that, like that, you got to make it a good one. You can't let them score the bucket. Oh, they called the offensive foul.
Hampton was the one to absorb the contact. You take another look at it there. White was trying to plead her case, as was Coach DeYoung. After a press look by the Jaguars on the inbounds, the Dragons bring it up. Tankey for 3. Hit one earlier, not that time. How about Crawford ranging in to grab that rebound? That is exactly what she does. Her 4th on the afternoon and averages just under 8 per game. White, 3 Dragons around her, trying to find somebody in the vicinity, but the Dragons scoop it up. Hampton called for the travel there as a pair of Jaguars are around her and couldn't quite pick up the foot in time.
Well, tempo is getting pushed a little bit. They're starting to run and going back to this last possession for the Jaguars. That triple team was intense. And White needs to keep that ball up above her head and look to kick it out right away.
Blackmore checking in for the Jaguars. Crawford kicks it out. Blackmore hit a triple back in the first half. Thought about it again. Here's Pratt. Spinning on Ankeny. Beautiful shot there from Pratt.
Knew how far she could take it. Got the nice spin move. And just like that, Dragons are back the other way. You have got to get back in transition because they will push it up the floor.
Yeah, after a make or a miss, Johnston has just been quick to pounce on the Jaguars. They're in transition defense. Lewis's and the Dragons' first miss from the line this morning. Coming in is Tilly Smith for Ankeny Centennial. Once again, substitutions in today's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. As Lewis splits the pair, Isabella Balsley will check in for Molly Nelk. The largest lead was 5. That was for Johnston after the first quarter. Otherwise, it has been neck and neck between these pair of CIML squads. Porter finds Crawford. Lewis watching her. Porter was hoping somebody was going to be behind for the exchange, but instead it was Emma Hampton.
Good hands. Just anticipated, got the hands out into the passing lane.
Lewis knocks down the three.
Big bucket. Lewis is stepping up and knocking down some shots. They just floated her to the top, and she was ready to shoot it as soon as she received it.
Missed her first 3 attempts from long range, and now she has 13 points to lead all scores. Riley called for the reach-in foul. Caught with her hand in the cookie jar a little bit that time for the junior.
You know, after a big bucket like that, it kind of pumps up your defense and you become a little aggressive and maybe too aggressive for Riley.
Second personal foul on Riley, second team foul here in the half for Johnston. Centennial has 4 team fouls. Pratt's had a strong third quarter. The mid-range shot has worked, and if it's not broke, don't fix it.
She's liking that mid-range, that free throw line jumper. They're giving it to her.
10 points for Jaden Pratt, the first Jaguar to reach double figures in scoring. Tied again at 30. 2:15 to play here in what's been a dandy at the well. Lewis, deep three. Doesn't go. Athletic rebound brought in by Ankeny, and there was a tough collision between her and I believe Jaden Pratt. It's a little slow to get up.
If we can get a look at it. It's an inadvertent arm as they go to the ground and go for that loose ball.
That was the third personal foul on Jaden Pratt. And 5th team foul on Ankeny Centennial. Now we have a timeout on the floor here to maybe discuss if there was anything extra there. Not from what we really saw there on that replay though, Laura. Just 2 players going after it.
And Pratt's going to the side. And they're going to take a look at her. I think that she might have a little blood coming from her nose, and they're going to, again, clean up that end of the floor with some droplets of blood. And that just tells you we've had 2 stoppages in play because these players have been going at each other, and blood. Eiley Ankeny had to change out her uniform. And now Jaden Pratt going to the side with possibly a bloody nose.
Both of these teams have left it all out there, and we still have 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter and the fourth quarter to go. Had a little housekeeping to take care of there near the Johnston bench and got cleaned up. Johnston to inbound, tied at 30. Leah Riley going in, sees the opening and finishes.
Got that quick first step, and once she gets around that first defender, she can turn on the afterburners.
Boy, when she has the green light, she is ready to go. A timeout on the floor called by Ankeny Centennial here with 1:44 remaining here in the third. It is a 30-second timeout. Check that, will be a full timeout, it appears. So we will go ahead and take one with them, but don't go anywhere. Just a 2-point ball game here late in the third on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Pep band student section in full force here in downtown Des Moines on this fine Thursday as we have flipped the calendar into March. It feels like March, tell you what, especially with the high octane show that has been put on by these two programs.
Yeah, this is what we thought it was going to be. We knew these two teams were very tough defensively, and that's what we've seen. And they mentioned a couple of stoppages in play because blood has been drawn in this game, and it's just a 2-point game, what we had thought it was going to be.
Jaden Pratt is still being tended to along the sideline. We'll continue to provide updates on her. She's played very well here in this third quarter with time winding down on the shot clock. See where it'll go here. Stay with Ankeny Centennial, but just 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. So see what the Jaguars can muster here. Quick give, Porter. Doesn't reach the iron on that three, but very confident three-point shooter. Riley, just too easy as she maneuvers with ease.
Just didn't get the defensive rotation over, and you've got to be aware of the ball handler and where she is, especially Riley, because she is just so crafty when she has the ball in her hands.
8 points for Riley, 6 of which have come here in the third quarter as Crawford draws a foul down low. That will be on Jenica Lewis. That is her third personal. And here is Maya Crawford at the line. Has not attempted a free throw today. That one is off the mark.
Getting a few more subs in, and I think Scott DeYoung keeps looking down at the other end of the court to see how close they are to getting Pratt back in this lineup. A big offensive rebound there for the Jaguars.
I needed that after coming up empty there on that trip. Crawford. Ballsley right there, toe for toe. About a 20-second difference between shot and game clock. Here's a three right side, and that one is buried by Tilly Smith.
That's why she's in the ball game. She is a good three-point shooter, and she knocks a big one down when they needed her.
Just when they needed someone to step up, Tilly Smith and another sophomore on this young squad for Ankeny Centennial that steps up. Ballsley handling it with now 10 seconds remaining here in the third. Swing it, open look. Johnson was trying to answer with a three. Tanky with the rebound. Putback attempt got swatted. And that will take us to our fourth quarter here at Wells Fargo Arena. Things getting heated here at the Well. It's a 1-point ball game as we go into the fourth quarter on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Fans, the Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. And to start this fourth quarter, we were wondering about Jaden Pratt and have that question answered. Has a little tissue there in her nose, had a bloody nose, and she is back in the ball game for what's been a physical contest since the jump. 3 quarters down, 1 to go to decide who moves on to the title game. Crawford finds Porter. Pratt at 6 points there in the third quarter. Crawford up and under layup, doesn't fall. Ball batted around. Still a live play. Held ball. Possession arrow, Johnston.
Nobody could find the handle on that loose ball, and this is what we're in here for the last fourth quarter. It's going to be a lot of scrapping for loose balls, and these players are going to leave it all on the floor.
It's a little mop-up duty there in the paint. Keeping them pretty busy here this morning.
Yeah, if you're one of the ball girls, you better be on your toes for the rest of this quarter.
Again, we are just getting started here on Semifinal Thursday, and what a fitting way for it to start here in Class 5A. Again, Hunter Phillips and Laura Leonard here with you on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. So both teams trading the possession here early on in this fourth quarter.
Clamping down defensively as Riley was making that spin move. She had somebody right there waiting for her, made her pick it up, and they were able to tie it up.
McKenna Clark, who's playing her collegiate basketball at Wayne State. Goes to Porter, who will play at William Jewell College. Pratt. And there's a travel.
Again, that indecision. They're giving her that shot. She has to be willing to take it, and right now she's not confident in the ability to take that shot. They're giving it to you. Go ahead and fire away. She's got that skill. She can knock them down.
On today, Crawford is 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, 2 of 7 from the field, and as a team, Ankeny Centennial is 2 for 10 from long range. Johnston up by 1 and with the basketball. It's been Riley that has forced the action just like that, where she just sees that slight of an opening and she just goes right after it.
Waiting for the screen up top, and she just was surveying the floor, seeing what was going to happen as she came around that screen and able to get it all the way into the rim.
Riley's first free throw is off. She made her first 2. She had 6 of her 8 points in the ball game back in the third quarter, and most of those coming by way of just crashing the lane. She splits the pair to pad the Johnston lead to 2. Again, there's been very little separation here in this semifinal.
And that's why down the stretch you just have to execute, take care of the basketball. You cannot afford turnovers.
Avery Porter will stay outside with Crawford. Again, the Dragons giving her plenty of room along the outside. Clark to a cutting. Pratt. Boy, and Ankeny was all over that one, smothering that play.
I know on the curl cut you have the momentum going to the hoop, but maybe just make that jump stop, let the defender go by.
So as Ankeny was trying to work her way atop the high post region, that is where they'll get a reach and foul on Ankeny Centennial. That is the 7th team foul on the Jaguars here in this half, and that will put Ankeny to the line. Ankeny on the morning, 5 points, 10 rebounds. And I'll give her 6 as that is her first made free throw on the day. Johnston 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Ankeny off on the second. One possession ball game here with 5:45 to go. Pratt takes it inside to White, turning around there with that double team. There was some contact. Held ball will be Dragons basketball, and getting, I think, a little tap on the nose there while battling for the loose ball was Jenica Lewis, checking for blood.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. She's still checking that lip.
And now the officials see it. Third time today that we have had this kind of a stoppage, which again just tells you that the definition of this game has been physical. You see that she's getting tended to by the athletic training staff. It may have been right on that upper lip there. So it is a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick break as well. And even 5.5 to play in this semifinal. Johnston leading by 3 on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
What an atmosphere here for girls state basketball. People coming in droves from communities all across the state. Of course, for these two fan bases, not that far of a commute. Boy, it has been fun right from the start. Johnston up by 3. Jenica Lewis, after getting tended to, is back out on the floor. And so, Laura, if you're either Dowling Catholic or Pleasant Valley watching this game, you know that if you make it to the championship game, you are going to have your hands full.
You will have your hands full with either one of these teams, and you know you have to be ready to take care of the basketball. Defense is going to be right there in your face. You're going to have to figure out a way to get around the defense and game plan of how you can find little gaps in the defense.
Lewis's 3 is left a little short, but Ankeny with another rebound. High off the window, doesn't go, and Lewis was fouled. So again, Johnston is in the bonus, and rebounding has been the key for Johnston today. That was their 13th offensive rebound. They have out-rebounded Ankeny Centennial 31-19.
And that's a big, big difference on the glass. That was something that helped Centennial in that quarterfinal game, was their rebounding and how they were able to outlast Waterloo West.
Johnston's defense has answered the call here in the fourth, have held the Jaguars scoreless for the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Jaguars trying to break through. Off the screen, here's Crawford going in, and she banks that off and in.
Boy, that's just a power shot. She was able to sweep that ball through and go up strong over the outstretched arms of the defense.
Crawford with 6 points. Riley, a lot of contact. Nothing called. Riley's a little slow to get up, and now the Jaguars race ahead. It's a 2-on-1. Porter doesn't get it. The ball tapped into the hands of Hampton. It will stay with Johnston, but boy, the Jaguars had numbers, but got to give Hampton a lot of credit there for staying with that play.
She was kind of the lone defender down there, and really White was trying to screen her off, able to fight around that and cause some problems for Porter as she went up with a shot.
Aaliyah Riley with 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists today. Gives it up to Jenica Lewis, who has 13. Makes a nice move. What a dish there in the low post. But the Dragons couldn't capitalize, and the Jaguars will be back with the basketball.
You have to be ready if you're in the post because Lewis can drop dimes like that. No look pass in between two defenders. What a great look. Just couldn't finish it off.
Fourth team foul on Johnston. Halfway through this fourth quarter. Johnston, the defending Class 5A champions, holding on to a 1-point lead. Trying to work with the screen action are the Jaguars, but the Dragons have it well wrapped up. Pratt, catch and shoot three. Too strong. And Hampton doing a great job using her height to tap that rebound in the hands of Riley. Not to sound like a broken record, but it has been the rebounding that has been the key for Johnston here up to this point. Riley Tanky traveled.
Boy, I didn't see it. It was quick enough. I thought they were going to maybe get a reach-in foul on Pratt, and kind of a surprise call, but give an opportunity to Centennial.
Boy, a bang play, and that would have been Jaden Pratt's fourth personal foul. So a timeout on the floor called by Ankeny Centennial. Here's it's a 1-point ball game on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
.312 remaining. And what's been a classic here in this Class 5A semifinal, featuring two of the top teams in the state. Johnston up by one against Ankeny Centennial, 36-35. It's been a defensive battle. And speaking of that, Lori, we're looking at the stats here over the break. Johnston is coming off a game in which they shot 65% from the field. They are 10 for 41 from the floor here this morning.
That's amazing that they're in this ball game, shooting 24% in this game, and they have the lead.
It's been come down to the little things, the details. Has helped the Dragons keep the lead, but Centennial has been knocking on the door. McKenna Clark's been held in check for the day, but certainly can light it up when called upon. Jaden Pratt showing off her toughness all day. Crawford probing in, trying to pivot around the fadeaway. Left a little short. Lewis was all over that one.
Lewis stood her ground, didn't go for any of the fakes, just stood with the arms outstretched. Good defensive stand by Lewis.
Both teams have only scored 2 points apiece here in this fourth quarter. Each possession has just been a battle. And now as Riley was working between a pair of Jaguars, they'll get a foul on Ankeny Centennial, and once again, the Dragons are in the bonus. And you could just see the expressions on all the players out there. They have exerted so much energy here today, and at the free throw line, you just got to have that little extra effort as Riley gets the shooter's touch.
A little sigh of relief because that one rattled around. And you're right, when you get into the last couple of minutes and you've played a game the way this game has been played, you're just happy to be able to knock down those free throws, because that's where you've got to be able to relax, give that little extra bit of energy.
Riley, calm, cool, collected, knocks down both. She's got 12 points today. 2 to play, 3-point lead for the Johnston Dragons. Porter forcing her way in, and that gets denied by the Dragons. Jenica Lewis backs it up to Hampton. Tanky directing traffic, and a timeout will be called on the floor here by Coach Chad Gillick. We'll have 3 timeouts remaining. Ankeny Centennial has 2 timeouts remaining. And so while we've talked about Ankeny Centennial's defense and how well they have done against the top scoring team in the state in Johnston, got to give credit where credit's due with Johnston's defense, and especially really limiting the second chance opportunities for Ankeny Centennial.
Yeah, and that's a big part of their game is going to that offensive glass, getting some second chance opportunities. They have been limited today, and now playing defense, you can't afford to give up a three-pointer, and you can't afford to give up the traditional three-pointer. They're going to try to go inside. You have to figure that Johnston is probably going to try to get the highest percentage shot that they can. Probably aren't going to shoot a three unless the shot clock is winding down. But defensively, you've got to play straight up, don't reach, and if you've got somebody turning the corner on you, you need some backside help.
So what will the Dragons do out of the timeout? Riley. It's been that steady go-to here down the stretch in ball games this season. Nelk trying to work around Crawford. Will go back to the Dragons, or excuse me, to the Jaguars. There is an offensive foul, legal screen called against the Dragons.
Kenna Clark did a great job of getting through the initial screen, got in between the screener, and there you can see the illegal screen that gives the ball back to the Jaguars.
Jaguars have only scored 2 points here in the fourth quarter, but only down by 3. Crawford, a handful of Jenica Lewis right there.
They're looking to try to get some fouls going in, looking for that contact, but Lewis right on top of the ball.
Pratt to inbound. Lewis once again with active hands. That was nearly last off of Crawford as it went back out of play. Another try here for the Jaguars. One possession ball game. Clark attacking off the dribble. Lewis once again making a stand. And now Riley races ahead. Tanky. Oh, and how about Porter racing in from behind to knock that one out.
That's good defensive transition, getting back, filling the lane, swatting that one away.
1 minute to go. Johnston looking to go back to the championship game for the 4th consecutive season. What does Ankeny Centennial have to say about that?
They need to get the stop here. And down 3, they're not a three-point shooting team, so they're going to need to get a quick bucket. If Johnston doesn't score right here, get a quick 2, then call a timeout. Nice move.
Oh, and that's all Riley needed right there to get past her defender. 5-point game. They work it in to Kennedy White. Off the glass, no. Lewis with another rebound. And a tough foul from behind.
That last crossover dribble by Aaliyah Riley. Right there. That's just a little stutter step crossover dribble. Very, very tough to defend.
It's been fantastic today. 13 points. That was actually a held ball called. So we'll stay with Ankeny Centennial. 21 and a half seconds to go in this one. Pratt catches the inbound. Blocked from behind by Tanky. Lewis with the finishing touches on this one.
That's what they needed to pull away, and it was all in the last 2 minutes of this ball game.
And an all-time classic. The Dragons have done it again. They're back in the championship game as they defeat Ankeny Centennial 42-35. Two teams that poured it all out there. But it was the Dragons that made the big plays in the end, Laura, to come away with the win.
They got the stops and they made the plays down the stretch in just about the last 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of this fourth quarter, because it was back and forth the entire ball game, and they made the plays down the stretch to get and go defend their title on Friday.
So now in a moment we will turn things back to our public address announcer, Tim Fitzpatrick, for the trophy presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Scott DeYoung and the Jaguars from Ankeny Centennial on an outstanding basketball season. And now Emma Hampton will advance their team to the next round, the championship round and the official bracket at center court. Dragon fans, your team advances
Johnston
to the 5A
going back
championship.
to the title game where they will await either Dowling Catholic or the top seed Pleasant Valley. And so, Laura, final thoughts here on this start to semifinal Thursday. I think this game set the bar pretty high.
It set it really high. It was a really good game. It's what you'd expect at a state championship game, or not a championship, but a semifinal game. It was intense, back and forth, and these kids played their hearts out. And congratulations to the Dragons getting to defend their title.
And congrats to Coach DeYoung and the Jaguars on a hard-fought game. They close out the season at 18-7. So coming up next here from Des Moines, it will be Dar Danielson and Tammy Blackstone on the call for Dowling Catholic and Pleasant Valley. So on behalf of our entire crew, led by our producer Justin Wolber, and for my broadcast partner Laura Leonard, I'm Hunter Phillips. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.